Thanks for that. Adie, we'll come back onto you now. A little longer, if you please. Adie, you were our most appeared player last season. You appeared the most time for the Stags. Sum it up for me.
My most enjoyable season last year for quite a while, really, at Mansfield. Mainly for that reason, you know, I'd possibly in the previous 4 or 5 years I'd had a couple of niggles, and you know, I didn't play as many games as I liked just because I was playing every week last year, and you know, it was a tough league in that conference, but thought we adapted well and really enjoyed that season. Loved playing every week. Really liked it here. I used to like travelling in, and the training ground where it is, things like that were my side of, you know, of Mansfield and things like that. Just really enjoyed everything about it. I thought it was a great club, really good fans, really close knit, and just, you know, my most enjoyable season for quite a while.
Talk to me about the training that you do. How often do you train at Gainsborough Trinity? Of course, they're in the Conference North. How much do you train, and how much time do you spend doing this job as a financial advisor? Well,
we're doing this every day because it's not like Mark mentioned before, you know, to get into it, you know, from a regulatory point of view, there's a lot of exams to pass and things like that, so that's tough on that side. But it's not so much that, it's, like I mentioned before, building up contacts, you know, trying to get in. We go in and do meetings at clubs, so you've got to obviously be quite well prepared for that. You've got to learn your skills and improve them. You know, you don't want to be doing a meeting with someone and you're lacking in knowledge or something like that. Somebody pulls out a question at you that you know, you maybe just can't quite nail it at that particular time. So there's a vast amount of things that you've got to take on board and that. So bearing that in mind, it is, you know, a full-time job. As boss is quite good with us in the fact that, you know, he's not telling us to get out there and X amount of appointments a week and you've got to be doing this and meeting this deadlines. He's quite relaxed on that. He wants us to be up to a certain speed and things. So from that point of view, like Matt said, you know, it is full on. But then you've got the training as well, which for me is 2 nights a week, Tuesday, Thursday nights, and playing on a Saturday. So one of them. I made the decision in the summer to go part-time, and I thought, yeah, it'll free me week up because I knew I was going down this route. But if I'm being honest, you know, it's not quite as easy as that. The Conference North is still quite a decent standard, and you've got to commit to it fully. I think there's some really good players in there, and to do that, you know, you've got to be, you know, like you say, doing your little bits of training every other day and keeping on top. Whereas at the minute, you know, for like me and Mark, we've got that hell of a much on. We've both got families and things, and there's a lot of things, but enjoying it as well, you know. So it's one of them, really busy at the minute.
How big is the gulf between Conference National and Conference North?
Conference National, as you've just christened it, is...
It is known as that, I think you'll find.
Only in your household, Steve, oh yeah. Nobody else in the country knows it.
It's not a horse race, that, no.
Get on the web when you return, and you'll be ringing me up and changing your mind.
Website though, don't you, Steve? Oh, so you've got a chance of getting that right.
Adie, if you please.
Yeah, it's like I say, I think it's still a good standard. There's still a bit of, I think there's a gulf in there. You know, I thought that last year was a very good standard, that Conference League, some very good teams, and it gets strengthened every year by the teams that come down. Like I mentioned before, the Luton's coming down this year, and that obviously a very big club. And then you look at it, but where the football's gone over the last few years, I also think that even at Conference North, Conference South level, that you know, there's in the league, squads are cutting back. You know, they want to do it on tighter budgets, things like that. So for that reason, you get lads dropping down and down every year, and you get some good players in that. So I think, you know, you do get some good individuals on there, but in terms of teams and if you're looking at it from that angle, I think there's, you know, quite a bit of a gap really in between the Conference National and Conference North and South.
You know me well enough not to take offence at this question, but...
Don't ask it then.
That means he's going to offend you, mate.
Are you looking to retire soon?
Well, I'd made a decision in the summer that this would definitely be my last year. So, you know, this would be definitely my last year playing. And like I say, things have gone at a pace on this side of matters in terms of the job and the financial side of things. So, you know, we're kind of just looking at it at the minute. And you know, I'm speaking to Brian Little, who's now Gainsborough manager, and... just saying, you know, it's one of them, sometimes you have to miss a training session. I don't particularly like doing that, but he's aware of that situation, and you know, he's kind of quite good about it as well, so we'll just see what happens.
And once you've retired from football, is this your full-time role?
Yeah, that's it, fully committed. Like I say, that decision we made last summer, you can't just commit to something like this and then just think, well, I'll have a little play at this for a little while and then see if that's all right for me. Made that decision to have a real go at it, and you've got to go at it wholeheartedly, really. And you know, that means, like I say, training every day, learning skills, knowledge, whatever it is, picking stuff up. And yeah, that's made that decision, and that's going to be it for good. Hopefully, you know, it's not easy, like I mentioned before, the exams and the regulations and things like that, and things are changing again in the industry within a couple of years, so there's always something being thrown at you, but never been a quitter, so hopefully, like I say, just keep at it, and whatever they throw at us, we can keep battling on and be a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully get good on this side of things as well.
Question for you both now, starting with you, Mark. You've decided to go down this avenue. Did you not fancy a pot shot at management?
Well, still could. You know, you never know which way things are going to go.
You can't do both.
No, you're dead right, you can't. And I'm going to commit to this, like I said. But like I say, I'm 34 at the moment, 35 at the end of this month. You don't know what's going to happen in 10 years' time. So at the moment, it wasn't for me. Like I said, we had a little taster of it here, and it was great. Really enjoyed it. But to do it full time, I don't know. Certainly not at the moment.
What puts you off about it?
There's a couple of bits really, you know, the hassle that goes with it. It's great, the match days are great, you know, and it's similar to being a player when you're at the back end of your career. Match days are great. There's a lot of hassle behind the scenes, a lot of stuff you have to organise, you know, a lot of things that, you know, you have to get lads to play, whereby...
To be fair, at that time, I know you're referring to, obviously, your short stint as caretaker manager last season for us, but you didn't have any help, did you? It was just you two at that time, and you were going into the swimming pool with a big weight around your feet.
As opposed to our necks.
and like Houdini, we slipped the weight, and we're still here to tell the tale.
We did have a bit of help, to be fair, didn't we? Don't get me wrong, it was all hands to the pump. But
who helped you then?
Well, behind the scenes, you did for a start.
Yourself.
I meant footballing-wise. We're no experts on that.
No, but you know, like Mark said, there's things behind the scenes, and certainly, like we knew it was a tough job, but Mansfield was having a tough time last year. You know, rewind a year just over, and there was a takeover and everything like that, and then Billy comes in, and then he was sacked before Christmas. You know, things were just difficult times for Mansfield. You know, it was a difficult transition to go into that Conference League, which is a tough league, and the expectation of going straight back up, which obviously didn't happen. But you know, we were just asked to do it. We was glad to do it, but certainly, yeah, it's not like one of us were on our own. We had each other to help. You know, if one were taking a session, other one could be setting something else up. You know, we had each other to bounce ideas off, and obviously when it's down to picking players and formations and set pieces and doing all that side of things, you know, there's two of us going at it. So from that point of view, it weren't all on our own. But I thought behind the scenes, the staff, you know, they really did everything they could. All three of the directors, you know, both Andy's and Steve, you know, really helped us, and that, I say, even down to yourself on this side, and Laurie, you know, we found that everybody couldn't do enough for us, really, didn't they?
Mez as well, groundsman, you know, Andy, hopes, everyone was great, and it really was good, but it did give you an insight into the sort of stresses and hassles of what it was like. I mean, when we beat, was it Weymouth here, the first game?
Yeah, I think it was Weymouth.
Or the second game, we took JD, last minute winner. That was a better feeling than probably we had as a player winning, you know. But the other side of it, when we were 2-0 down after 8 minutes at Wrexham, you're thinking, wow, what we got involved in.
I remember looking at you then, of course, it was your first game, as you quite rightly say, and I bet you didn't know what hit you, did you?
No, it was tough, because everything that you prepared for in the week had just gone out the window, you know. The old like sayings all come out, let's keep it tight early on, and done exactly what the opposite, you know, and the two of the softest goals that you'd ever seen. I can remember them just seemed to be walking to the byline and walking them in, and then a corner, a free header, and that, you know, everything that you, as a manager, you'd tear your hair out about. You know, it happened to us in his first 10 minutes. So from that reason, but to be fair to the lads, we got into them at half time, and they gave us a bit of a reaction second half and pulled it round a bit, and then we managed to kick on a little bit that week, and we had a few sessions then, and like I say, got that result. And when JD popped that winner in down here, it was a great, fantastic feeling.